Well, the speculation is over. The answer is yes. Star Trek lives.
It's only 6 days away at maximum warp, and I have it well planned.
Starting next fall, beginning with a 2-hour telefilm, followed by 24 original 1-hour episodes, Star Trek will return to television in the form of a new series, Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Who would want to divert us here? There's no trouble in the space sector we're patrolling now. No alien problems.
Probably the reason I'm doing this is everything was going too well, and that doesn't feel comfortable.
I will release this ship to manual control.
You cannot take Star Trek away from what is offered by Shatner and Nimoy and all of the rest of them.
Then they care about the captain.
Now, the challenge will be to find a group like that again. It will be a group of humans facing the challenges of space and going out further, and the excitement of adventure and the entertainment of adventure. And this will also have the thing the new series had, which so many people are realizing now it had, comment on this and that.
What's hot is Star Trek: The Next Generation, and behind this door, Stage 9 on the Paramount Pictures lot. The Enterprise and the future world of Star Trek are taking shape amid a whole lot of secrecy. Secrecy is the operative term here, but producers of the new series are being very particular about how much is to be known and how soon. We can tell you that this mall-like structure is part of a terrestrial location. This canyon-like set will also serve as a planetary location. Finishing touches are being put on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. It's going to take 3 separate sound stages to produce this show. The Starship itself will take up 2 of those stages. We're also told the new series calls for more frequent use of the ship's hallways and the crew's living quarters.
My mission, and the mission of my crew of the Starship Enterprise, is to explore the unknown, to investigate that which is new and strange, to go where men have never been before.
For the new cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation, it was a day of exploration indeed as cameras rolled on the 2-hour pilot that will introduce the new series this fall.
I am sure, Commander, there are reasons for a first officer to want to demonstrate his energy and alertness to a new captain.
The show's producers aren't revealing too much of the storyline for the new series, and we still can't show you the new Starship. But as is evident in this cast photo session with the show's creator, Gene Roddenberry, the new crew represents a cross-section of the universe, all raring to begin exploring.
I could get used to this. 5-6-year mission? Yeah, feels good.
It's wild. I grew up with the thing, and, you know, I'm saying all the lines that I've heard forever and ever and ever, and it's really fun.
I had to put all this stuff on and become just a character, and that felt wonderful.
When I first got the job, I thought, great, it's such a wonderful job to get, but then the phone hasn't stopped ringing. People are kind of jumping up and down and saying, do you realize that Star Trek is so big?
I've always had a lot of questions. What does it feel like to be transported? What do they use for currency? What kind of music do they listen to? And now I have access to the answers, and I can live the stuff that I've been watching for so many years.
Star Trek: The Next Generation is beaming aboard the airwaves. All the wonder, the excitement, the drama of Gene Roddenberry's original Space Odyssey.
Welcome to the Enterprise.
With all new adventures from the 24th century. With an all-new Enterprise.
This is nothing like any vessel I've seen before.
And an all-new crew. Starfleet veteran Captain Picard, Commander Riker, Executive Officer, Chief Medical Officer Crusher, and her brilliant son, Wesley, Lieutenant Commander Data, an android. The telepathic Troy, Security Officer Yar, Geordi, a man with unique vision. and Klingon officer Worf.
Shields and deflectors up, sir.
Go to yellow alert.
Their continuing mission to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Let's see what's out there.
Don't miss the all-new television adventures of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
This is Paramount Studios in Hollywood, where production is currently underway on the latest episode of Gene Roddenberry's new space odyssey, Star Trek: The Next Generation.
The way Paramount interested me in this one, they said it's impossible to do again. At which point my ears perked up.
No television series has ever been able to claim the legendary fame that Star Trek has. A statistic Patrick Stewart found rather awesome when auditioning for the role of Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
When this first became a possibility, a good friend of mine here in Los Angeles said, this was, I think, just before my final meeting for the role, how does it feel to be auditioning for an American icon? And I think that remark unnerved me more than anything else that had been said about it at the time, because although I'd seen a lot of Star Trek in the 60s and early 70s, I still had no comprehension of how much a part of American culture this series had become and how many millions of people had been influenced by it.
You will now answer to the charge of being a grievously savage race.
Grievously savage could mean anything. I will answer only specific charges.
There are a lot of issues and challenges in the 80s and 90s and the end of the century that need talking about. And they need talking about in drama, because drama will move people, will cause people to think, and much more than any straight show.
Robert Justman and Richard Berman are supervising producers. For Robert, working on the new series is like deja vu. Between 1966 and 1969, he co-produced the original Star Trek with Gene Roddenberry, an experience he remembers fondly.
It's like I went home one night in 1968 and came back to work the next morning in 1986. That's what it's like. It's like time passed in a wink of an eye, and nothing has changed, and the feeling between us has only grown. We're closer and more emotionally bound to each other than we ever were. And so it's a wonderful feeling.
As the premiere of the series approaches, there's a feeling of excitement and anticipation around the set. The cast have a tough act to follow, and they realize this.
To a long and successful voyage, the new crew of the Enterprise.
Live long and prosper.
We've had, I must say, very positive response. We received letters already welcoming us to the Star Trek family, as it were. And I'm under the impression that by virtue of being Star Trek fans, they are for the future and for progress, and this certainly is an expression of that. And I hope that we will be received accordingly and not judged as trying to replace someone.
It's not a remake of a television legend. It is totally a new series, a new concept.
Sir, respectfully submit our only choice is to fight.
We didn't want in any way to be accused of trying to recreate the cast of the old series, but at the same time, we wanted to maintain the family flavor that existed amongst the original cast. Obviously, the Kirk-Spock relationship would be the easiest one to have people say that we were trying to duplicate. For that reason, we stayed away from Vulcans. For that reason, we, in a sense, broke the role of the captain into two parts.
I'm not a family man, Riker, and yet Starfleet has given me a ship with children aboard. But since a captain needs an image of geniality, you're to see that's what I project.
Aye, sir.
Welcome to the Enterprise, Commander Riker.
Marina Sirtis
It's coming in now.
is another member of the cast who is also British. She plays Deanna Troi, the ship's counselor.
She's half Betazoid from the planet Betazed and half human.
Her mother's a Betazoid, and her father was a Starfleet officer. And on Beta Z, everyone has this super-duper high intelligence. So I'm hugely intelligent. Might typecast again. No, I'm hugely intelligent, and Betazoids have telepathic abilities. The full Betazoids have a full telepathic ability. I have an ability to read emotions.
The role of Deanna Troi, however, was originally slated for Denise Crosby.
Gene felt that, now these are his words, that I was too much like Grace Kelly, and that I couldn't, that Troi should be this exotic, otherworldly creature, and I was just this kind of American golden girl.
Off-camera, Academy Award winner Michael Westmore, one of Hollywood's most respected makeup artists, creates the masks for the aliens we'll see on the show.
The writer will basically give you his first concept of what he wants in the show. Then myself, Gene Roddenberry, Bob Justman, Rick Berman, the art department will all sit down and put our thoughts together to create a character, and then I have to design it so it works.
I'm a Klingon, sir. For me to seek escape when my captain goes into battle...
You are a Starfleet officer, Lieutenant.
Aye, sir.
Industrial Light and Magic, George Lucas's special effects company, has been hired to give the series a real 24th century look.
We're involved, of course, in the traditional outer space kind of shots that are certainly a big part of Star Trek, and those shots will be fairly obvious as being special effects shots. In addition to that, there's some business with some creatures of some kind, and then, as I say, these establishing shots and wider shots of the general planet surface. So it's really very similar to the kinds of special effects shots that appeared in the original series.
This is science fiction in a very believable format, I think.
I'm thrilled about it. I'm thrilled every day that I'm involved in it, and it still seems really quite unreal to me.
Star Trek, the next generation.